Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Warships. I'm your host, Legendary, and today I'm playing the Tier 10 American Premium Cruiser, the USS Puerto Rico. I really like this ship, and I hope you will like it too after this battle. Regarding the ship, the armament is composed of 12 very powerful 305mm guns, just like the Alaska, but with one more turret. And these guns got improved penetration angles and a slow reload and a bad accuracy. It's really... yeah. you will see that during the course of this battle. Don't worry, trust me on that one. Taking a shot at the Sherman. Regarding the survivability of the ship, it is very tanky, you get a massive HP pool. You get also a very protected citadel. You will see that during the course of this battle, the ship is nearly impossible to citadel. It's really big, very easy to hit, and it doesn't turn very well. The concealment is absolutely terrible. The ship is detected from low Earth orbit. Not kidding. Some battleships have better concealment. You have 13 kilometers, and that's quite a lot for a cruiser. Regarding the consumables, you get access to a 10km radars, and it is very useful against destroyers. But you have to get close. Remember, concealment 13 kilometers, radar 10 kilometers. This 3 kilometers of difference are not really helping. You can see, I am taking quite a beating in nearly every other cruiser. I would probably be sitting at 10,000 HP, something like that. But I'm in a Puerto Rico, it's very hard to citadel. So yeah, I know that the high explosive and the Sherman is on to have a very bad day. That's 4,000 damage, and you saw the dispersion of these shells. Yeah, you are starting to see a pattern, right? This ship is using the battleship dispersion formula, which means that it is very inaccurate. And oh boy, that the Sherman's starting to shoot at me. Yeah, I better stop shooting and run away! The ship is tanky, but you cannot survive a Sherman shooting at you for a certain period of time. You probably saw the Sherman video on my channel. This thing takes no prisoners. If you are getting shot at by a Sherman, you either kill the Sherman or you run away, but there's no in between. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing. Regarding the enemy team, you can see there's a Bismarck. He's being quite forward for a bottom tier ship. I mean, that's very brave. A bit too brave, maybe? Yeah. That poor Bismarck is being shot at by a Tirpitz, a Moskva, and even another Tirpitz. Oh boy, that guy is not going to survive for very long. I'm using the high explosive, the guy angled. I want to stack some damage on this guy with the fires. And this guy is not going to have a very good day. I'm very unlucky with this salvo. Most of my shells just failed to penetrate. And you can see the slow ass reload. It takes an entire month to reload these goddamn guns. It's really something that you must be aware of. When you play the Puerto Rico, you are not going to win any TPM fight whatsoever. And that poor Bismarck, look at that, he's melting away. And you know why? Because he did a very bad error of judgment, and a very fatal one. You see, when you subscribe to a channel, the enemy is scared of you, and they automatically run away in most cases. So, you know what to do, right? Back to a battle. I'm still loaded with the high explosive, and this time I have a breast. Yeah, I know, breasts. They named a ship like that. I'm French, so I understand why it's named like that, but it's still funny. It's still funny to name a ship breast in an international game. Yeah. Why not? Loading the armor piercing this time, because this breast is in a shitload of trouble. He understood that, so he basically started the engine boost, and he's reversing as fast as he can. I can get a salvo, and I'm not spotted. That's good, that's good. Maybe Breast will take a Citadel? Or am I going... How much Citadels? Yeah, not too much, but still 10k damage. That's 1/5 of his health. Not going to complain. The Zao is behind the island, but I think he's going to change course, so it's not going to work. Yeah. It's not going to work. All the shares are gonna miss. You can see that I'm taking pretty... I won't say brave, but it still is brave position, because I'm heading for the middle of the map, basically. And you don't know why, because when you are in the middle of the map, all the ships are broadside to you. So you understand where I'm going, what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to crush some broadside. I'm no Vermont. I cannot send you... I'm not sending you 457mm shells that will basically send you back to port immediately. But you can take quite a lot of damage. You will see that on that breast. Yeah, not with this salvo. That was that was the battleship dispersion, right? Talking about the Vermont. Look at that. The poor Vermont at 16 kilometers. He's in a shitload of trouble. This guy is broadside to me. He cannot do anything because he's forced to being angled to the other ships. And most importantly, he's trying to use all his guns. These guns have a slow rest reload as well, 40 seconds. He cannot afford to only use the front gun turrets. So this guy is basically going to stay broadside. And he's not going to run away. It's a Vermont after all. You know, when you charge in certain ships, you are running towards the enemy. In a Vermont, when you charge, you're basically walking very slowly towards the enemy. It's just Vermont things, right? You have to pay for these very powerful guns. It's the same thing with the Puerto Rico. You get very nice guns, but they reload very slowly. And yeah, and the accuracy is pretty trash. You see, it's quite inconsistent. You saw that the damage is really struggling. I'm really struggling to have accurate salvos of this guy. The Vermont is a very, very big ship, by the way. So, yeah. As you can see, I don't have a Zao in front of me, but I prefer to target the Vermont. To me, the Vermont is the most immediate target, the most important one to take out. My team really needs to take the ship out. It will relieve them from a lot of pressure. So I hope we're going to kill it right away. And yeah, I'm not broadside to as the Zao. I just need to be careful because this guy's got a lot of torpedoes. And yeah, now I'm shifting my attention towards the Zao. I told you about the fact that the ship is very impossible to, nearly impossible to Citadel. The Zao is loaded with high explosives, so yeah, not much damage taken, but a lot of damage in return. That was 20k. In a battleship, I would have sent this guy back to port right away. But remember, I'm still a cruiser, so there's a limit to what you can do. Here are the torpedoes. I saw them coming from a country mile, so it's not that much of an issue. And you see that the enemy, they are looking less brave by now, right? Because when they push out of these islands, I will have their broadside. Because they need to angle towards the Conqueror on the other side. And that's going to be an issue for them because they cannot angle against the Conqueror and against me at the same time. So they are always going to show me a bit of broadside, and that's all that I need. Remember, improve pen angles. Which means that you don't have to be perfectly broadside for me to do that. That was just the rear turrets, by the way. Only 2 turrets and still 11k. This guy is definitely not having a good day, right? Oh, a broadside monarch. Yeah, this time. it's even easier, you don't need improved pen angles. Yeah. And you see that? I'm using Halsey as a commander. I just earned 20% of reload. And isn't that absolutely awesome? Combine that with Adrenaline Rush and you can see the reload. Yeah. It's very quick. It's finally somewhat normal cruiser reload, you see. Yeah, trying to kill the Zhao. And yeah, it's a 10-second reload. The Zhao is dead. The Monarch is dead too. No way he's going to survive that. You don't have a superhero or whatever, and the Monarch is not powerful either. Okay, that's good. Now, they only got 4 ships left. Lexington, Bismarck, Sherman, and Salem. They can still win this match. Never underestimate the power of your team to throw a match. Always be aware of that. But I think their chances are pretty slim, right? Yeah. We absolutely need to kill the Sherman. I'm indicating my team, and that's something very important. Communicate with your team. If you have a radar ship, you tell your team when your radar is ready, how much charges you have, and the range. That's something very important. I didn't choose any charges of radar because I wasn't at 10 kilometers of a destroyer. But we managed to kill the Sherman. Our Sherman killed theirs. And it looks like they lost the Lexington and the Bismarck. They only have the Salem left. The Salem is a very powerful ship. It's a demo line with some sort of budget radar, but a very good heal. It's a miniature kind of heal, you know. A 3D printer, basically you print on your ship. Each time you press the button, the U button. I think that's the button for on the Salem. Whatever. He's rigging the the ball of the map, so I cannot have an accurate shot of him, and I'm taking quite a lot of damage. Of course, he's focusing me. He's really wanting to kill me, but it's okay. It's okay. I can afford to lose my ship. He took a citadel in return. He took quite some damage. He's dead anyway. So basically, this match is a win. And that concludes the video of today. I really enjoyed this match. And I hope you did too. That was quite some flanking. I like to do that kind of moves to get nice salvos. You can see 60,000 damage of the Vermont just because he showed me his broadside. So, that's it for today, folks. Have a good one, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.